The Volvo XC90 might not be much to look at on the outside except for the recent launch in the colors like the Onyx Black, Pine Grey, Denim Blue and Crystal White Pearl, and its amazing 20-inch wheels which are retractive, but the insides of this hybrid pack an exceptional punch. How does the XC90 stand out? What are its features? Let us answer both of these questions and any others that may cross your mind. The major highlight of this mild hybrid car is its signature V6 engine, which uses just 4 cylinders, yet pumps out 300 horsepower using a combination of a supercharger and a turbocharger as well, making it very unique, while retaining the mild hybrid characteristics. The startup on this amazing hybrid is quite something of a sight to behold, with its engine coming to life softly and silently, as it does not need a starter motor, being a hybrid. The lower gear driving experience is no less of a quiet ride, with the engine letting out just the bare minimum throatiness, which is appropriate considering the use of a supercharger along with a turbocharger, all while having an electric boost. Between the 2 and 3000 RPMs, the hybrid aspect kicks in, and the car pulls forward nicely and energetically. The 8-speed gearbox shifts slightly early, with the acceleration being pretty strong. The extra electric punch you could feel comes from a 10 kilowatt boost from the well-designed hybrid system. When pushed further in terms of gear 6 and above, the increased airflow from the supercharger and the turbocharger tune in very well. On the road, the engine pulls itself pretty handsomely around 2,500 RPM, and by 3.5 there is a much more substantial pull. Beyond that, when accelerated further to and beyond 6,000 RPM, the performance is very strong. In terms of overall performance, it does feel smooth, but not exactly the smoothest engine around at speeds it is supposed to be tried out optimally at. The minimal yet noticeable lack of smoothness is due to a supercharger and turbocharger and electric motor components seeming to overlap and cause a slight disruption to the optimal flow of power. This might not be a troublesome factor, but it is observable in a way that makes power in a not-so-smooth manner in comparison to the engines equipped in Mercedes or BMW models, and the difference in this buffer can be felt clearly when compared. The 0 to 100 is quite impressive with a claimed 6.7 second run-up, but falters in comparison to the facelifted Audi Q7 with its 340 horsepower being quicker by a second. But the Volvo XC90 still delivers enough performance to keep things quick and uptight. While Volvo has improved the 8-speed automatic, making it smoother and more responsive, gearbox on XC90 is not equipped well to handle fast switching. The automatic cruise mode is still an overall win in terms of performance. The manual mode takes an excessively long time to build up speed on the higher gears, hence slightly affecting the overall driving experience. When we talk about the updated XC90, it rides better, especially once you go a bit faster than usual. The older diesel model had a stiffer suspension, and the updated model is equipped with a more supple and well-set suspension with the updated steering wheel. The ultra-smooth steering acts quickly and lightly at low speeds, making it surprisingly agile. Keeping in mind its size, and when you go faster and need to steer into corners, it remains just as accurate. And with the additional lower and dynamic suspension coupled with it, you get an SUV that you can drive and enjoy on roads with endless curves and turns. The car shines best when it comes to traversing rough riding conditions on slightly rougher terrains, as its 20-inch wheel and tires handle much terrains with ease. The dynamic mode helps you switch into a more immersive driving experience, with a more round-up chassis and better throttle response. The XC90 might not essentially be the sportiest SUV in its class by a long shot, but the dynamic mode surely makes it much better than its original driving mode. The XC90 also offers an off-road mode, where the car switches into an aggressive all-wheel drive and the suspension lifts to 252mm more than its original clearance, making it feel at home with dirt roads and even some heavily rutted sections. The rear-end suspension provides an additional lift to the vehicle and hence makes the off-road ride much smoother while providing additional clearance, while the springs maintain enough fluidity to cushion the vehicle tastefully. Those familiar with the XC90 would not feel any new addition in the cabin design, with a great integration in terms of the console with the dashboard, and the design remains very pleasing. The instrument panel with all the new white on black dials is one up from the older model, and now there is a wireless charging pad for your compatible phone in the shutter section near the crystal gear level. All of the console and the cluster section can come together in an understated Swedish design mannerism. Coming to conclusion, Volvo XC90 is a car best driven in a slightly laid-back and relaxed manner. So, What are your thoughts on the updated XC90? Does it seem like an upgrade from the older model?